Let me ask you something. You've got a Toyota 4Runner, a Tacoma, a Land Cruiser, one of the toughest machines ever built. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you probably think it's just going to keep running forever because it's a Toyota. And you're not wrong. These trucks are built differently. But here's the part nobody tells you. Even the toughest 4x4 on the planet needs the right care to hit 300,000 miles without a major repair bill along the way. I've spent years working on these trucks. I've seen 4Runners with 350,000 miles that still run like new. And I've seen Tacomas barely crack 120,000 before the owner was writing big checks. The difference? Almost always comes down to maintenance. So today, I'm walking you through the exact tips I give every Toyota 4x4 owner who wants to squeeze every mile out of their truck. No fluff, no filler, just the stuff that actually matters. We've got 13 tips, and if you stay to the end, the last one is something most owners completely ignore, and it silently kills trucks that should have lasted forever. Let's get into it. Tip number 1. Change your engine oil on schedule. No excuses. Alright, I'm going to start with the most basic one because it's also the most important. And honestly, it's the one I see people mess up the most. Engine oil is your engine's best friend. It lubricates, it cools, it cleans. But when that oil gets old, thick, and dirty, it stops doing all three of those things. And in a Toyota 4x4, especially if you're doing any off-roading, towing, or hauling, that oil works hard. Harder than it does in a regular commuter car. Here's my rule. Every 5,000 miles with conventional oil. If you've switched to full synthetic, you can stretch it to 7,500 to 10,000 miles. But always check your owner's manual first. And if you're doing serious off-road work, towing heavy, or driving in dusty conditions, shorten that interval. Don't wait. When you let oil go too long, the additives break down. The oil gets thick and starts carrying debris instead of flushing it out. Metal rubs on metal, and slowly, that engine starts wearing out way ahead of schedule. A quality oil change costs you $60 to $100. A new engine costs $5,000 to $10,000. Easy math. Tip number 2. Don't neglect your differential fluid. This one is huge for 4x4 owners specifically, and most people completely forget about it. Your Toyota 4x4 has front and rear differentials, and if you've got a 4Runner or Land Cruiser with full-time 4WD, you've also got a center differential. These are the components that split power between your wheels. They work incredibly hard, especially when you're off-road, turning tight, or hauling a load. Inside each differential is gear oil. Over time, that oil breaks down, collects metal shavings, and loses its ability to protect the gears. And when that happens, the wear accelerates fast. My recommendation: change your differential fluid every 30,000 miles. If you do any serious off-roading or water crossings, and if you drive a 4x4, there's a good chance you do, bump that up to every 15,000 to 20,000 miles. Water can sneak past differential seals on the trail, and you won't even know until it's too late. The fluid itself is cheap. The job is straightforward, but ignore it long enough, and you're looking at a differential rebuild that can run $800 to $2,000 or more. Change the fluid. It's not worth the gamble. Tip number 3. Transfer case fluid. The most forgotten fluid on any 4x4. While we're talking about fluids most people skip, let's talk about the transfer case. Your transfer case is what gives your Toyota 4x4 its 4WD capability. It splits torque between the front and rear axles, and just like your differentials, it runs on its own fluid. That fluid lubricates gears, clutch packs, and bearings that are under serious stress every time you use 4WD. Here's the problem. Transfer case fluid almost never gets changed at the dealership unless you specifically ask for it. It's not on a lot of service menus, so it gets ignored, and then it gets ugly. Change your transfer case fluid every 30,000 miles. Same logic as the differential. If you wheel hard, do it more often. Use the correct fluid for your specific model. Toyota has specific requirements here, and using the wrong fluid can cause chatter, grinding, and accelerated wear on the clutch packs. This fluid change might cost you $50 to $100 to do yourself. A transfer case replacement, anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500. Don't skip it. Tip number 4. Transmission fluid. The right way. Let me be clear about something. Changing transmission fluid is not as simple as more is better. I've seen people flush their transmission too aggressively, too often, and actually cause more harm than good. Here's how it works. Your transmission's clutch packs wear over time, and those tiny particles end up floating in the fluid. A small amount of that debris actually helps the clutch's grip properly. Flush it all out at once with a full machine flush, especially on a high-mileage transmission, and you can cause slipping almost immediately. My recommendation for Toyota 4x4s: do a drain and fill every 60,000 miles. Not a full flush. A drain and fill replaces roughly half the fluid, keeping some of that necessary debris balance while still refreshing the lubricant. Always use Toyota WS fluid for automatic transmissions, or the correct spec for your specific model. Don't use a generic universal fluid. When something goes wrong, that off-brand fluid isn't going to fix your truck, but your wallet will definitely feel it. Tip number 5. Coolant. Change it before it turns on you. Here's something most Toyota 4x4 owners don't know about their coolant. It doesn't just wear out, it turns acidic. Toyota uses a pink long-life coolant in most modern trucks. When it's fresh, it protects your engine, keeps temperatures stable, and guards against corrosion. But as it ages, it becomes acidic, and when that happens, it starts eating your engine from the inside. It attacks the water pump seals, the gaskets, and the coolant passages themselves. In a 4x4 that works hard, off-road towing running hot, that coolant degrades faster than in a daily driver. I recommend changing it every 50,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. Some people wait until 100,000 miles. Don't. I've seen the damage that comes from waiting too long, and it's not cheap. Fresh coolant is maybe $30 to $50. A water pump replacement or a coolant passage leak repair, that can run $500 to $1,200 easy. Change the coolant. Keep it on schedule. Tip number 6. Inspect your front axle U-joints and CV boots. This is a 4x4 specific tip that most car content never covers, and it matters. Your Toyota 4x4's front axle has either U-joints or CV, constant velocity joints, depending on the model and year. These joints allow your front wheels to both steer and receive power at the same time. They flex, they articulate, and when you're off-road, they flex a lot. CV boots are rubber boots that cover and protect the CV joints. They keep grease in and dirt and water out. But off-road driving, rocks, brush, rough terrain can crack or tear a CV boot. Once that boot tears, the grease flies out, dirt gets in, and that CV joint starts grinding itself to death. Left alone, a torn boot becomes a failed CV joint, becomes a truck that won't move. Inspect your CV boots every time you do an oil change. Look for tears, cracks, or grease splattered around the boot. A replacement boot costs $20 to $50. Waiting until the joint fails? You're looking at $200 to $600 per joint. If your truck has U-joints instead, get them greased every 5,000 miles if they have grease fittings. Dry U-joints fail fast. Tip number 7. Check your brake fluid, and don't forget the rear drums. Brake fluid is hygroscopic. That means it absorbs moisture from the air over time, and as that moisture content rises, your brake fluid's boiling point drops. On a heavy 4x4 coming down a long mountain grade or towing a trailer, that matters a lot. Overheated, moisture-contaminated brake fluid can cause brake fade exactly when you need your brakes most. Change your brake fluid every 3 years. No exceptions. It's a simple job, and the fluid is cheap. Now, here's the thing. Specific to a lot of Toyota trucks, many still use rear drum brakes. And rear drum brakes have an adjustment mechanism that's easy to forget. If your rear drums aren't adjusting properly, your pedal feel gets soft and your front brakes take all the work. That leads to front rotor and pad wear that happens way too fast. When you do your brake service, check that rear drum adjustment. It takes 5 minutes and it keeps your braking balanced. Tip number 8. Spark plugs. Use the right ones and change them on time. Here's where I see Toyota 4x4 owners waste money in 2 different ways: changing plugs too early or putting in the wrong ones. Most modern Toyota 4x4s run iridium spark plugs from the factory. These are long-life plugs designed to go 60,000 to 120,000 miles. If your engine is running well, leave them alone until you hit that interval. When it's time to change them, pull one out, read the part number, and buy the same exact plug. Don't let a parts store talk you into an aftermarket equivalent. I've had customers come back with rough idle misfires and check engine lights because they tried to save $20 on plugs. On something you only change every 60,000 to 120,000 miles, that's not a gamble worth taking. And here's one more thing. If your truck is getting up in age and those plugs have been in there for 10 years or more, remove and reinstall them even if you don't replace them. Spark plugs can season aluminum heads over time. I've seen plugs snap off in the head at the 15-year mark, and that's a nightmare repair. Break them loose before they decide not to come out. Tip number 9. Air filter. Your engine breathes harder than you think. Think about what a Toyota 4x4 goes through. Dusty trails, dirt roads, mud, construction zones. Your air filter is catching all of that before it gets into your engine. And when that filter clogs up, your engine has to work harder to pull in air. That means worse fuel economy, sluggish throttle response, and over time, more engine wear. Change your air filter every 15,000 to 30,000 miles under normal conditions. If you do serious off-road driving in dusty environments, check it every oil change. I've pulled air filters off trail trucks that looked like someone stuffed a dirt road inside the airbox. Running an engine that dirty is costing you performance and longevity every mile. The good news? An air filter is one of the easiest things to replace yourself. Pop the airbox open, swap the filter, close it back up. 5 minutes, no tools, $20 to $40. Done. Tip number 10. Inspect your skid plates and underbody after every trail run. Most Toyota 4x4s come with some level of underbody protection. Skid plates under the engine, transmission, and transfer case. These are there for a reason, but they can only protect you if they're intact and properly secured. After any serious off-road use, get under your truck. Look at the skid plates. Are any bolts loose or missing? Is any plate bent in a way that might be pressing against something it shouldn't? Is there fresh scraping that went deeper than the skid plate was designed to handle? Also, check your differential covers, the transmission pan, and your brake lines. Rocks and obstacles can bend brake lines and dent diff covers without you ever feeling it on the trail. A bent diff cover that's pressing on a ring gear is a ticking time bomb. This inspection takes 10 minutes, but catching a cracked diff cover or a stressed brake line early can save you from a breakdown 50 miles from the nearest town. Tip number 11. Check your battery, especially if you run accessories. Toyota 4x4 owners love their accessories: lights, winches, fridges, air compressors, CB radios, and all of that puts extra load on your electrical system. Most Toyota 4x4 batteries last 3 to 5 years, but if you're running a lot of accessories, especially with the engine off like a fridge at camp, you can stress a battery significantly faster than that. Grab a multimeter. With the engine off, you should see 12.4 to 12.7 volts. With the engine running, you should see 13.8 to 14.4 volts. Anything lower than 13.5 volts with the engine running is a sign your alternator may be struggling. Check the battery terminals too. Corrosion on those terminals isn't just ugly, it blocks the connection and can cause all kinds of weird electrical gremlins. A $5 wire brush and 5 minutes every 6 months keeps it clean. Budget $200 to $400 for a replacement battery when the time comes. It's a lot better than getting stranded with a dead truck at a trailhead. Tip number 12. The serpentine belt. Don't wait until it snaps. Your serpentine belt drives your alternator, power steering pump, air conditioning, and water pump. One belt, doing the work of 4 systems. And when it fails, all 4 of those things fail with it. Inspect your serpentine belt every time you're under the hood for something else. Look for cracks, fraying, glazing, or any signs the belt is getting hard and brittle. Most Toyota 4x4s need a new serpentine belt somewhere around 100,000 miles, but it's worth a visual check well before that. The belt itself is $30 to $60. The job isn't complicated, but if it snaps on the highway, or worse, on the trail, you're not getting anywhere. Your water pump stops, your engine overheats, and suddenly, you've got a much bigger problem than a $50 belt. Tip number 13. Use the right fluids and parts for your specific truck. This last one sounds obvious, but I can't tell you how many times I've seen a perfectly good Toyota 4x4 get hurt by the wrong fluid or the wrong part. Toyota builds these trucks to run on specific fluids with specific formulations. The wrong differential fluid causes chatter. The wrong transmission fluid causes slipping. The wrong coolant accelerates corrosion. And universal aftermarket parts that fit your truck don't always perform the same as what came on it from the factory. I'm not telling you to always buy from the Toyota dealership. You don't have to, but do your homework. Match the spec exactly. When you're buying differential fluid, match the GL rating. When you're buying coolant, match the type. When you're buying filters and sensors, stick with OEM or a trusted brand that meets Toyota's specifications. These trucks are built to last, but they're built to last on the right stuff. Cut corners on fluids and parts, and you're just moving the breakdown date up. If you're serious about keeping your Toyota 4x4 running past 300,000 miles, I've put together something that goes much deeper than this video. It's called the 500,000 Mile Car Maintenance Blueprint, and it covers every critical service interval, every warning sign to watch for, and exactly how to stay ahead of repairs before they cost you big money. This is the complete guide I wish every Toyota 4x4 owner had from day one. The link to grab it is in the description below. And listen, everything in this video works, but only if you actually do it. Print the list, put it on your phone, do whatever you need to do to stay on schedule. These trucks will go the distance. You just have to hold up your end of the deal. If you found these tips helpful, be sure to watch this next video as we're sharing insider tips to help you cut repair costs and keep your car running like new.